Real grade Gundam GP01Fb full vernier. Hey, what's up again everybody? It's Top Gun Robert 184, 2Rs2Bs from GundamReviews.net. You've already seen my review for the real grade Zephyranthes GP01, but now it's time to look at the full burner and full vernier, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it's got a lot more juice as it's ready to go fight in space. So let's check out this beefed up version of the Unit 1. Here's the legs separated from the waist section there, which is going to be able to take that massive Core Fighter 2 there. And there it is. I've already got the shoulders on for cheating. Hopefully that's going to help a little bit in terms of the stability of the kit. I put on more lining and decals than I usually do there, actually done up in ink, and though the build for the MS itself does not feel repetitive after I already built the GP01, building up the accessories does, as you've got the exact same beam rifle shield there, but you are still going to have the bonuses of landing gear, and you've got extra manipulators there, including the straight arm shield attachment, and a slightly different allergic to carrots Co. So why doesn't it feel repetitive? Well, as fans of the perfect grade know, the whole point of the GP01 is that it gets to get upgraded in almost every part of its body there, outside of maybe just the arms. But when you take a look at the parts here for the legs, you're going to see the first thing is big shoes down there and a much beefy, bulkier leg down there. Everything is still looking good. You can see the gray and the white there separated with lots of dark gray for the inner frame exposed in all sorts of places there. Metallic decals just to liven things up to go along with some red writing. But in terms of the actual practicalities of the matter, you're going to have your hip rotate around like that and move up and down. And if you want to bend this here, you'll notice that this part is going to split. And you can see the whole knee coming up, and I'm absolutely a fan of the way they're doing this. There's less and less ugly knee exposed and more good stuff. The red seal is definitely going to pop for the eyes, as it should for the GP01. You can see that it folds back up there quite nicely. You can expose some nozzles back there. This one doesn't want to move, but look at how much little parts there are inside. There's just all these well done details. The ankles don't want to move very much side to side, which may be problematic, but you can bring down the toe. Don't do too much or you're going to break it off down there. The only thing it's missing though is the angry foot brakes that the regular 01 has. And for a quick comparison, you've got something that looks a lot more Impulse-ish as opposed to something that's going to look a lot more Legend or Providence-y. The waist section isn't going to be as fun or colorful as the GP01 down there, but it is still going to follow the theme of being bulked out where it should be. But it's always going to be impressive the way that you can go and dock the Core Fighter 2 in there. Also great that you can actually twist this around, and it's got some side-to-side movement. A lot of that, of course, is going to get lost when you put in the problematic top half, but I'm getting ahead of myself there. Not a lot of gray showing through down there, but where it does, it's always a good thing. You can see it on the top there. And if you want to go ahead and add on some of the details and ink this up, between the gray, the silver, and the red, everything is looking sharp. The only thing that's missing is the red and yellow down there. You'll notice that the abs have changed color from the traditional Gundam red there to the all-white. More gray exposed there definitely to go along with that red and yellow stripe, but otherwise this thing looking beefy as it should be. And for the Core Brock 2 here from Pokemon, this one is looking pretty ridiculous in a good way. You can see clear parts there for the cockpit hatch. You can see the vents there on the inside. Those are going to be exposed by the yellow parts when you open them up. Everything's going to fold in there very nicely. But check out the way that you've actually got these beam sabers attached on there. They can go all the way around and bend at incredible angles there. So whatever you want to do, you can probably reach right back and grab it, and that's going to be a good thing. And over here, you're going to have this big set of backpack. This is all going to be actually built in here as one piece, as it seems to be proper there. And you can see that everything here is going to be rotating up and down, so you're exposing tons of gray parts there on the inside. If this was just a big hollow shell, it would look very unexciting, I think. But just by having it well designed there to show off multiple parts of gray inside, and if you want to go to the trouble of adding in the lining and all the seals, this is definitely looking like something that's ready to pile drive you Gundam vs. Gundam and could take on Gato or any other ace in space. And here's the Unit 1 where it's actually going to have this part go on top of this. So this is actually built into the top half of the body, whereas this is part of the Core Fighter. And you can see there that this one, if you saw the review, that it's going to be a little bit problematic getting that to lock in place and stay properly. And if you want to talk about incredible details, check this out. The boosters here, you'll notice that they're not at the same distance here because you've actually got these little slide switches in there, and that works well even if you don't have much nails. But a modeler's knife, easily going to get that dislodged. But how much fun. Remember that you get to put this on, take off the yellow parts, and then send these out forward. And the red part of the cockpit hatch is also going to be opening up there, and if you take a look on the inside there, you'll see that these yellow vents have actually got these small pieces. Those can be dislodged, and when you put in that core fighter and send the boosters forward, they're actually going to be shooting out forward there if he's got to make a quick reverse. And since I had no luck whatsoever with the upper body for the regular Zevranthes, I'm just going to show this off all attached on together. But wow, if you want to talk about visual impact, exciting this is. First of all, let's just focus on the shoulders, which is where your eyes are always going to go to. The big O1, if you're going to put on any decals besides the green in the eyes, you might as well be putting on those. And if you want to accentuate that with all sorts of little white tracks there and the silver parts, I think they're going to be looking fantastic. The fact, again, that they're exposing some of the inner frame there, this time the dark gray, looking really good. You've got this part that's going to be moving up and showing off the thrusters, but then to focus on the chest, again, just to have these kinds of details. Remember back in the day when you just get an ugly yellow seal and you'd have to put that on and it would never sit properly? Well, here it's actually done up in plastic properly, and you can take this whole red part is looking great, and you can move this all up, which is going to be exposing that clear cockpit that they went to the trouble of, including with the core block there. And you've got the green parts there for the shoulders. These are just going to snap on there, and they can actually move independently there, back and forth a little bit. Problematic if you just give this whole thing a good squeeze before you put it on. I'm hoping that it's not going to have the same weight issues with the shield and the beam rifle there. But for the arms themselves, you've got some silver parts down there for the elbows. These are going to be spinning around. You can see that they're also going to have these little accent panels off to the side, exposing the insides of the elbows. And as you bend that up, check it out again, you're going to be exposing all of this part down here. This gray part is going to slide slightly. You can see the piping on the back, and basically everything is going to be looking fantastic, no matter what angle you look at it from. Again, the kind of thing that we never used to see on kits. The wrists themselves, you can see them moving ever so slightly in there. These are the fixed ones, but you're also going to be getting 3-finger trigger finger splits. And you've also got a special one for this hand that can go in straight arm when you attach the shield onto there. And again, for play value, the FB definitely has to top the original one there. As you can see on the inside there, do you see that little switch on the top? Well, you've also got one there in the bottom, and with a little bit of nails, or again, a modeler's knife, all you have to do is you can go and slide this out, and when you do, you're going to have these 3 thrusters out there. They're all going to be attached together, but then these with the top one and the bottom one, you can separate those. Overall, the effect is absolutely incredible, and it's the kind of thing where I think all you're going to want to do is bring the shoulders forward and expose those boosters there, and again, just have this guy back up and back up, because hey, that's what this guy is known for. And here's the original. It is going to be exposing some gray thrusters there. You can see the ideas on the top and, well, especially on the sides there. The O1 is going to be looking good, but again, without those same play values between the vents and the thrusters off on the side, this one is definitely going to be coming across as more exciting and also more visually dynamic. That's not going to be applying to the weapons, though, as the shield is going to be exactly the same. Doesn't mean it doesn't look good, though, there with the lining and the seals on there. Extra E-packs, you've got 3 in total, and that'll look really good when you take them and add them onto the back here of the beam rifle. You've got this old double beam saber looking like an angry V, always a lot of fun. You can see the trigger finger coming forward there. And exactly like the regular one here, you can go for the old straight arm and say, "Get away, Gato," before you go for a spinning Zangief pile driver. And for the transformation here, well, what are you going to get? You get to bring this part up and forward there. You can also attach some landing gear in there. Close this whole thing up there, and you can take these and put them at whatever jaunty angle you choose down below. And with a quick swing down there of the back end, and then you can go and take these verniers and move them into position. Does it look like a practical space plane? I would say no, but then again, it does look pretty beefed out and awesome, and just overall, between the decals and the details back there, it's just going to be a lot more filled out than the regular one, as it's not just half a back there. It's actually going to be the whole thing. And when you take a look at this, between the 4 massive nozzles there, and again, all of that gray being exposed, even on the sides, you can see more gray, more lining, more silver and red and everything else. And if you want to go into the landing gear, it's going to look good when it's on the ground. And it's the kind of thing that this, to me, looks so cheesy, fun, and just space sci-fi Gundam-y that if you wanted to go buy a second one and actually show it off besides the completed MS, I don't think there'd be anybody out there who would blame you. And though his mug is far from ugly, it's been all over the videos so far exactly the same. As you can see, you've got that antenna sticking up well, the yellow Vulcans are going to be looking good as they go back there. You've got some gray on the inside of the eyes there and the red for the under the eyes to go along with the goatee. I think I did a better job lining this one as well. But overall, when you combine it with the 00 blue shoulders, this upper body right here is almost worth the price of admission alone. Overall, this kit was a ton of fun putting together. I worried it would be repetitive, but it does not feel that way at all. Outside of the arms, it really is going to be exciting from top to bottom with the legs being big and beefy there. I just love the extra width there, and the gray and the white is going to show off very prominently. The white abs and the low, sort of nondescript waist section is going to be more than offset though, because when you add on this kind of cool upper body, I just think it looks fantastic. And so many extra play options there between the red opening parts and the boosters coming forward out of the Core Fighter 2, and you've got the ones in the shoulders. This guy, and he also seems to be holding together a little bit better, so knock on wood. But when you combine it with this awesome looking parts back here, every single effort that Bandai went to, if this was all white for the big cones on the back, I think it would be incredibly dull. But the fact that you've got this built in and there's so much gray being shown off just makes me more and more excited to put it all together. So stick around, I'll have the MS and verdict in the next video, and hopefully it's going to be better than the regular guy. But please let me know what you think of the parts, and stick around for lots more. Thanks for watching. See ya.